Hey guys, sorry, camera was turned on the wrong side. This live is gonna be a little bit different. Once again, this is more a informational live. I get to talk to a lot of different people on a daily basis. Some through the phone, some through email, some through messaging, comments, that kind of thing. So, with that being said, I always get a lot of questions about things such as diabetes, high blood pressure, lupus, those different things. And I am a big researcher and I like to figure things out and just now get myself a little more knowledgeable on a lot of things. And diabetes is one of those that I really was not very knowledgeable on. But I went and I did some research and just got a lot of information that I really didn't know that I said I would share with you guys, and of course talk to you about some different alternatives, that kind of thing. So this particular video is going to be all about diabetics, because it is something that's extremely common, especially in the African American community. It's something that, you know, it can be genetic, it can be something that, bad lifestyle choices, that kind of thing. So that's typically how a lot of people become diabetic, or maybe, it's a situation where it's like high blood pressure. High blood pressure runs in my family. So you are more susceptible to becoming or ending up on the same track if you don't make a lot of lifestyle changes, that kind of thing, at a young age, and go on from there. So it's the same thing with diabetes. Diabetes is one of those things where if you don't make a lot of lifestyle changes, if you don't follow through with your health and just making sure that you're taking good care of yourself, you can also end up on the opposite end of the scale. And with that being said, hair loss is those things where I hear a lot coming from diabetics. I hear a lot of that coming from people who have lupus, and I also hear a lot of that coming from people who have thyroid disease or high blood pressure. I have thyroid disease. I do not have a thyroid. My thyroid was removed a couple years ago. So I know all about that part of it. And, you know, I can talk for days about thyroid disease and hair loss. But in a case like this, where I noticed that I get a lot of questions from diabetics, that is the reason why I wanted to talk a lot about this. So with diabetes, of course, they have type A and type B. I didn't do in-depth research on the difference, or a lot that happen between the two different types, but I did research in regards to diabetes as a whole. While some of this may apply to some, it might not be the same for others. Everyone has different reactions to different things. Like for myself, I'm hypothyroid. A lot of people complain about having dry and brittle hair, whereas I do not have dry and brittle hair, but I have thin eyebrows on the ends, which is a side effect of sometimes being hypothyroid, or hypothyroidism, or thyroid disease, right? So with diabetes, a lot of people who have diabetes, and I'm not going to give a percentage because I don't know. Everybody's different. But what is very common with people who are diabetic is thyroid disease. How the two go hand in hand, I'm not really sure. But when you put the two together, especially when we're talking about hair loss, that is the perfect combination for hair loss. Or just being diabetic on its own, and maybe you don't have thyroid disease. Now, people who are diabetic, as you know, diabetes has to do with the sugar levels, the glucose levels, that kind of thing. Typically, a diabetic is going to an endocrinologist who also handles what? The thyroid, the pituitary gland. Um, it kind of goes, it's all in the endocrine system, right? So that's why we all see an endocrinologist. So all of this has to do with the endocrine, the liver, the kidney functions. All of this stuff goes hand in hand. And hence, everything that I just talked about has something to do with the actual blood system itself. So people who are diabetic typically develop alopecia areata. What is alopecia areata? Alopecia areata is typically where you have spots of hair loss in different places. And most of the time, you don't know why. You just know that you're diabetic, your hair has changed, you start seeing spots in different places. Hence, or even mind you, we're doing things such as protective that are not protective styles. We are doing things like braids. We're just doing our normal daily routine of making ourselves look good. And guess what? With that, we are now making it even easier to induce the alopecia areata, right? Especially if you're a diabetic. So with diabetes, typically alopecia areata and diabetics go hand in hand, right? Um, Hello, I had hair loss due to blood pressure meds I was taking. I have a thin spot in front of my hairline where my part of my hair is at. That's very common with blood pressure. Um, it's something to do with the medication a lot of times. And then also remember, when you're diabetic, when you have high blood pressure, when you have thyroid disease, when you have lupus, when you have any type of disease, no matter if it's autoimmune or not, the first thing we do is stress. And if you don't already know, let me tell you, stress is a big killer. Okay? Stress, have you ever heard that term? Stress can kill you. Stress is a slow and silent killer. I stress, we all stress. That is a part of life. There are things that just happen on a normal day like today. God bless the people of El Paso. Today was one of the most, what was what, a very terrifying day for those people who might have just said, I was just going to Walmart to get a pack of socks for my kids to go back to school. And today turned into a tragedy where 18 to 19, or maybe even more at this point, have lost their life. That is stress. Okay? Stress is sitting on your couch watching TV and you just remember that your light bill is due. Oh man, my kid needs tools for school. I have 3 children. I stress. Hence the reason why I say stress is something that also induces a lot of things. And when you have autoimmune diseases, when you have things that are attacking your body, when you're trying to, just be normal, stress comes along with it. With stress on a situation where you are already having um, things in your body going on, that helps to induce them, that heightens them, that makes them worse. So, with that stress, with being diabetic, here comes all the other side effects or adverse reactions behind it, right? Okay. So alopecia areata is a actual, basically the body is attacking the hair follicle. That's the easiest way to say it. When you have alopecia of any form, the body is attacking the hair follicle. And typically in diabetics, alopecia areata is not just in their hair. Sometimes it's the hair on their arms, the hair on your armpits, the hair on your cuckoo, the hair on your men part. I don't like to be graphic if y'all can tell. It can all be in those different places. There's a such thing as alopecia universalis, totalis, where you have no hair anywhere. That can also happen because guess what? When you are diabetic, that is in the blood. That same blood is what stimulates hair growth. And typically people who are diabetic, when you're diabetic, your hair grows a lot slower than the normal person, which there's no such thing as normal. But hair on the true scale is supposed to grow 1 to 2 centimeters per month. That is on a healthy human being, on a normal person. Hair grows 1 to 2 centimeters per month. So you guys keep that in mind when you're trying to say, man, I'm trying to grow my hair back. I want this hair to be luscious. Typically, hair grows 1 to 2 centimeters per month. Okay. And hair grows in cycles. So there is 3 cycles, right? The hair grows out, correct? And the hair basically sits for 100 days through this cycle. We're at phase number 2, phase number 3, whatever did not make it through that 100 days falls out. So when you are diabetic, you're typically at a halt in this phase. You're typically right in the middle where that hair goes in and it stops. That is the reason why diabetics typically have a much slower rate of hair growth than anyone else, because they stop in the middle of the 3 phase cycle of hair growth and um, hair rejuvenation, hair repair, that kind of thing. So typically people who are diabetic, their number one complaint with their hair is that it's either it's not growing, or it's growing very, very slow, or they're just at a standstill and they feel like it's not growing at all. That's very common for people who are diabetic. And it has a lot to do with your inner workings of your body. It has a lot to do with your blood levels, your glucose levels, that kind of thing. Let's see here. I'm not trying to ignore any of you guys. I'm just trying to get all the information out. Yes, I heard about it. It was so sad. Yeah, I am like, I was sitting at the pool with my kids and I'm just like, man, you can't even just go to Walmart anymore. You can't even say, well, guess what? Let me just run and get this t-shirt because my son only needs one more shirt and he'll be all set for school. And this is what comes. you know. So it's really sad, and my heart goes out to everybody in El Paso. It's just becoming way too common. It's just way too common. Hello, this is my first time here. Type 1 normally starting at a young age. And I said type A and type B, guys, so excuse me, it's type 1 and type 2. I don't know where my mind was when I said that. Type 2 normally starts at adult age. That's just part of it. Right. Can you do a video on the curl technique, please? Congratulations, Tamika. I stopped taking meds 2 years ago and my hair is growing back in that area. That is amazing, Tamika. That's actually awesome. And thank you, Glaze. I appreciate you for your moderating. When you are diabetic and you are might be dealing with the issue of alopecia areata, right? Because that is typically the most common form of alopecia for diabetic people or patients or clients. Can you talk about folliculitis? I don't know what folliculitis is or follic. I know I'm saying this wrong. I've heard of it, but I don't know it off the top of my head. It's something that I have to go back and look at. I don't even know. So I'm not going to sit here and fake it till I make it. That's what I'm not going to do. So I have to go back and read up on it. When I went to trichology school, a lot of this stuff came up. And it's a lot of information. And if you don't stay up on it, you'll lose it. And I'm one of those people where I've zoned in so much two different forms of alopecia, which is alopecia areata and traction alopecia, that um, I'm not so knowledgeable on the other areas of alopecia, which are very important. But in the African American community, those two types of alopecia is what I deal with the most on a normal day. So that's the reason why I haven't really gotten more into it. I really just started getting a lot more into traction and alopecia areata. But I'll definitely look into that, Tanya, and I'll go from there. And basically, like I always do my research, and I'm big on research and, finding out situations and trying to figure out ways to help as many people as I possibly can with just free information. That a lot of times you have to go to a dermatologist just for them to give you a piece of the information and then come back and follow up for them to give you another piece of the information. And they're doing the same thing that I just did. Thank you. I'm also natural. It's a struggle to keep my hair straight, but it's fine because I have very thick and a little past shoulder hair length. Good job. This is totally off subject, but I ordered my goddess a flat iron yesterday, and I'm super excited to use it on my 4C hair. Thank you, Lenora. I appreciate you. And as I said, everybody who did get your flat iron ordered, I know you guys were ordering the 1 inch, but for some strange reason, they just decided to bless me with all 2 inch. So everybody is getting the bigger plate for free, no upgrade cost. So congrats to everybody. Anyhow, back to what I was saying. So with diabetics, how do you help with your hair growth? How do you make things a little bit better? How do you fix it? Is there a fix? There is no fix. And I'm sorry to say that. There is no fix. Why? Because when you are diabetic, you are diabetic. That's just what you are. That's just what you have to deal with. Now, is this a thing that you can control? Most definitely. That's like me. I have hypothyroidism and I will be hypothyroid for the rest of my life. Why? Because I do not have an actual thyroid to repair something. So for me, my symptoms are always going to be up and down. Is there a fix to my symptoms? Such as this? Can I fix having thinner eyebrows? Can I fix this normal side effect of hypothyroidism? I cannot. Can I do my absolute best to control it? I can. How can I do that? How are you able to do or make any correction to what might be going on with you? And did you hear me say the word might? Because it's not always the case for everyone. Like I said, everyone is different and everyone reacts different. So with diabetics, how do you fix your hair issue? Number one, you have to make sure that your levels are in check. It's no different with the thyroid. And you're going to hear me relate to the thyroid because we're all a part of the endocrine system, right? We're all a part of the endocrine system. We all see an endocrinologist. Why? Because this one system is all in the same place. And typically, people who are diabetic, as they said, they have thyroid problems as well, or thyroid disease. That means hence the reason we all see an endocrinologist. So, like you guys who might be diabetic or myself, there is a lifestyle change that must be made here. And a lot of people don't like to hear the raw truth, but I'm here to tell you, unfortunately, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. There has to be a lifestyle change. What kind of lifestyle change? Introducing more fruits and veggies to the body, more natural sugars, getting your levels under control, making sure that you are seeing your endocrinologist on a regular basis, making sure that you are taking better care of yourself, right? When you take better care of yourself, you'll start noticing that everything else flows in place, such as what? This head of yours right here, this hair, right? This hair. You'll notice a big difference in how things happen, especially with the hair. Now, if you're already in a stage of alopecia areata, what things can you do in turn to help? So, a lot of doctors, dermatologists are going to prescribe steroids because they're going to say, hey, you need to go ahead and reduce the inflammation in the scalp. Alopecia areata is basically inflammation, an inflammation form of alopecia, right? They're going to say, we need to reduce your inflammation. No different when you take an ibuprofen, Bayer, any of that. We need to reduce the swelling because remember, if something is swollen, when something is swollen, it is tight like this, right? How can a follicle grow from a place of this when it's tight like this? So when they reduce the inflammation, it takes the swelling and allows that follicle to actually escape, right? So now you actually have a place for something to grow. So that is the reason why they're going to say, hey, let's go ahead and get you on some steroids, whether it be shots or pills. Let's do this, let's do that. While I'm not against modern medicine because I am not a doctor, if I wanted to be a doctor, I would have gone to school and got that MD. I'm not against modern medicine, but I'm also big in the natural and holistic way of doing things. There are other ways to reduce inflammation. Thank you, LaShawn. You can reduce inflammation by taking things such as turmeric, working out, de-stressing, meditation, yoga. Some people are kind of up and down on yoga, and I totally understand. But you have other ways of reducing inflammation instead of just always heading towards the modern medicine way. That's the Western way of medicine, right? The Western way of medicine is take a pill, take a shot, and we're going to fix this. That's going to be it. But keep in mind, every action has an adverse reaction. Steroids are not the best. Trust me when I tell you this. Something is reducing inflammation, but it is also increasing your water level. You are retaining water in so many other places because guess what? It's reducing the inflammation in one place, but it has to put that fluid somewhere else, right? Yes, I take turmeric now for my blood pressure. That's why I've been off my meds. Correct. So my endocrinologist is also big into natural medicine. We put turmeric in all of our meals at the end of us cooking. We add the turmeric at the end of the cooking phase. We're not cooking with it. We are adding the actual turmeric at the end and stirring it in. And we also drink ginger water. Ginger is another great way of reducing inflammation. You are able to do that by just basically boiling some water. After you boil the water, you peel the ginger and you drop it in the hot boiling water and you put it in the fridge to cool. You are infusing the water with the ginger. That number one helps with the digestive system of helping to reduce the inflammation in the scalp when you have alopecia areata that is induced from being a diabetic, right? Um, let's see. I'm gonna go back and read just in case I missed anything. Oh, I missed out on that. I would love to even place an order for your hair products. So thanks, Catrice. Laddie, God has blessed you, Crystal, because my doctor told me that my high blood pressure meds are not causing my hair to shed or fall out, shaking my head. Lady or Laddie, I'd research that. Don't be afraid of Google. Don't be afraid to read blogs. Don't be afraid to go to holistic doctors and even just do a consult. Sometimes just just do your research. I'm not against what any doctor says because I have no standing. I have no educational background to challenge what they say, but I'm always big on doing your own research. I do believe that a lot of medications don't mix with some of the chemicals that we use in our hair. I am type 2. My hair was fine until I allowed someone to tell me you can relax slash color at the same time. You can relax slash color at the same time, but it depends on who's doing it, how they're doing it, and if they understand what they're doing. Um, A1C has to be on point, correct. Let's see. Cinnamon capsules will help regulate your sugar naturally. Correct. Peanut butter also helps. I did learn that from my mother. Whenever your sugar levels are out of whack, eat a spoon of peanut butter or apple cider vinegar and it will slowly help your levels to equal out. It's something in the peanuts that helps. It's peanut butter specifically. I gotta ask my mom though. She's a nutritionist. She can tell me a lot more about that. also cause weight gain, and it's harder to lose weight on steroids. It definitely is. You actually cannot lose weight on steroids. You retain more water. So the body holds on to all the fluid, and unless you understand to reduce your salt intake, to work out, to drink a tremendous amount of water, because water helps to flush water, which sounds crazy, but the water is flushing the salt. That's how you reduce inflammation as well. A lot of the high blood pressure meds or HBH meds cause hair to thin. They do. They do. Why? Because they're thinning the blood. So they need to do what? If they're thinning the blood, they're going to thin the hair. They go hand in hand. But I know a lot of you use my products as well. And there's two ingredients in my goddess serum that also is great for people who have situations of alopecia areata. And while this is not to sell my products, because whether you buy my products or not, you can also attempt to get these at home. Garlic oil and onion oil are amazing for alopecia areata. And that is two ingredients that I did make sure was placed in my goddess serum on purpose, because I wanted to make sure that I was able to help treat those forms of alopecia areata. And not, let me not use the word treat, because only doctors can use that term. That I'm able to assist in helping to reduce the effects of alopecia areata. I'm sorry, guys. I have to be so specific on how I speak. And this is something that I learned through trichology school, because I can't recommend, I can't treat, I can't diagnose, I can't prescribe. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm telling you, hey, go and do this, hey, go and do that. These are just optional things that I've learned and things that I've researched, and I'm just giving you guys the information. So please don't quote me, right? Okay. But garlic oil and onion oil are amazing ingredients to help with alopecia areata. The onion oil in specific, as stinky as it is. So a lot of people, when they get my goddess serum, they're like, "Oh, this doesn't smell good," because it's not supposed to. It's not for smell good. It's for treating. It's for making sure that your hair grows back nice and strong. It's not the taste good. The problem is now a lot of people are worrying about the taste and the smell. Oh, it tastes and smell good. If you really think about it, in the times of our parents and our grandparents, it didn't taste or smell good, but they're outliving us. Why? Because they were not concerned about the taste or the smell. They were concerned about making sure that it works. So my product does not smell amazing, and I can say that to you right now. It does not smell amazing, but god damn it, that works. That I know for sure. Are your products good for anyone using high blood pressure meds? They are, but keep in mind, high blood pressure is one of those things. It's also another autoimmune systematic disease or symptom or something that is created. So keep in mind, a lot of times, if it's something that's internal, you have to help treat that internally. So your blood pressure needs to be in the right place. A lot of doctors will prescribe Rogaine or minoxidil, because that is a form of forced things. When you stop using it, whatever it grew dies with it. I researched zinc and vitamin C helps. Zinc is absolutely amazing, but there's an adverse reaction to zinc. Zinc is typically in your dandruff shampoos and your scalp or psoriasis shampoos. And zinc is also one of those ingredients that also dries the hell out of the hair. And for African Americans, zinc is not always our bestie. So make sure you moisturize the most that you possibly can. Even if I have androgenetic alopecia along with multiple sclerosis, do you honestly think your products will help? Honestly, Sharina, when it comes onto androgenetic alopecia, and then on top of that you have multiple sclerosis, I would speak to my physician first. I cannot tell you that, babe, nor will I tell you that. So I'm sorry, I'm not gonna address that part. You have too many things going on for me to say, oh yes, absolutely. Definitely speak to your physician before you use any product, especially because you have two totally opposite things, and they kind of are very difficult to deal with. Especially multiple sclerosis. I don't even want to touch it. LOL, I got pine tar on my dresser. I don't think it stinks. My family does. Vitamin D too. Vitamin D is basic. You get vitamin D from the sun. Just so you guys know, vitamin D is what we naturally get from the sun. African Americans typically are lacking in vitamin D because we don't like the sun. Why? We don't want to get darker. We do not want our skin to burn. So we typically stay out of the sun, whereas the Caucasian Latino community, they typically want those sun rays, but there's an adverse. They get too much, And then skin cancer is very common on their side of the scale, whereas skin cancer is not as common on our side of the scale. So there's always no happy medium in between the two, but you can get vitamin D directly from sunlight. But because we are not one to like to be in the sun, we are typically lacking in vitamin D. I take a vitamin D capsule, 50,000 micrograms every week. And that was prescribed by my endocrinologist. Why? Because the thyroid also attacks the calcium. Calcium needs vitamin D. They go hand in hand. Basically, the calcium is the bones. The vitamin D also helps to strengthen the bones and the skin. So there you go. I love the goddess strength combo. My hair looks and feels amazing after my steam curlers cool down. My curling rings stay. The clear edge lays my edges. Thank you for the review. I just screenshot that. I'm gonna share it on my Instagram. I love the sun, but it causes my eczema to flare up. Correct, because the sun also dries anything it touches. Viewers don't match the thumbs up the video because she knows her stuff. Thank you so much, Billy. I appreciate you. So there's 74 people on here. That means I should be having 74 thumbs up. So let's go. Get those thumbs up, people. Get those thumbs up. But as I was saying, with my diabetic babies out there, or those who have alopecia areata, thyroid disease, anything that has to do with the endocrine system, all of this applies to each and every one of you and myself. Because I have my days. I have my days. I have my times where my hair feels very limp. And then I have my times where I catch it in time and I know what to do because I've been doing this for so long. I know how to treat my hair. So I do what I need to do whenever I see signs of, okay, Crystal, you're kind of lacking. Juicing is another amazing way to help with the internal workings of the body, especially for my diabetic goddesses out there. Definitely begin juicing. You will see a miraculous difference in everything, whether it be your hair, whether it be your skin, whether it be your internal system itself. If you guys notice, if you look at my eyes, the whites around my eyes are either red or always yellow. Why? Because the thyroid typically changes the whites around the eyes, and diabetics are one of the same. So you guys also remember, you got to take care of yourself. Your hair will suffer if your health is suffering. If your body is suffering, you're not going to have good hair. They go hand in hand. Your skin will not be looking right. You'll notice that you don't have that glow. Why? Because you sit here and you're not taking care of yourself, but you want absolutely amazing hair. I know I'm stepping on a lot of toes right now. I know a lot of corns are hurting, but I'm sorry. I'm here to tell you that that's just the way it is. Are you saying juicing fruits or vegetables? Both. So here's the thing. They have a lot of books out there that are about juicing based on what you need. And I actually have one at home. If I had it, I would actually tell you. So in that book, it tells you if you have a thyroid issue, celery is your bestie. So I'm going to juice more celery than anything else. For the iron, if you have iron or iron deficiency, beets and anything red, rhubarb, that kind of fruits or veggies are high in that. Pineapple, it has, I forgot what the name is, it starts with a B. That is great for inflammation. So if you have inflammation, definitely juice pineapples as well. While you're not going to just juice that one fruit, it's definitely great to add. For diabetics, you never add things such as watermelon. Those are diuretics, right? Diabetics don't need diuretics. Same thing with people who have high blood pressure. Too much of something's not always good. So I definitely challenge each and every one of you to go out and get you one of those books that talk about the fruits and veggies that are catered to what you need, what your body needs. You know what you're lacking, so just use that, and that's how you juice. You juice based on what you need, not what the masses say. I was recently diagnosed with type 2 diabetic, and within 6 months, I noticed thinning. Wait, sorry. I noticed thinning on the top of my head. I thought it was from sewing, so I stopped getting what but worried about the thinning. So LaShawn, as I was saying earlier on, diabetics typically their hair grows a lot slower. They always typically not always, they typically have that phase where their hair doesn't grow. And then anything that you do to it that damages that hair takes a long time for you to come back from. It's no different from a diabetic when they get a cut. Cuts and bruises on diabetics take a lot longer to heal. So they go hand in hand. But like I said, I challenge everyone to go through and, do some research and find out about these different things. I read a lot of blogs and stuff, and that's where I get a lot of my information from, because I like to hear from people who actually are real people, not, oh, a medical study from Harvard said such and such, but the medical study from Harvard said such and such, and no one in the study that did the study has anything that's going on that they're studying. So how can you tell me something of that sort? You're not dealing with hypothyroidism, so how can you tell me about what I'm dealing with if you've never dealt with it? You're healthy as an ox. Let me know. You're very smart, sister. Thank you. I'm because I research. I'm not sitting here like I'm a doctor. I research just like everybody else. And when I hear something that I feel like is a challenge, I go and I read about it. Helpful information. Pineapples are also good for weight loss. Correct, because they reduce inflammation. So if you have something like plastic surgery, they typically, I think it's bromium or brom or something like that. That helps to reduce inflammation in the body. Pineapples. That's the actual chemistry in the pineapple. And I can't remember the actual word, but I know it's the BR. You can buy it in the capsule form or you can get it from the raw pineapple. But that's why I also did the juicing video the other day, because I want you guys to understand that not just juicing. You should be masticating, like get what they call a masticating juicer, where it preserves as much nutrients in the actual juice and just puts out the pulp. You want all of the nutrients, and typically all the other juicers that are not masticating, I can't remember their name, they extract the nutrients and the pulp. So you lose a lot of nutrients and you're not gaining as much. I put one out on the video the other day. It's like $99. It's not $200 or $300 like I keep seeing, and that baby works just fine. And it really works well. It's $99 on Amazon. You guys can watch that video and you'll see the link on my description box. Can you tell me what to do about just short hair around the front? It's not split or damage, it's just short. The dermatologist said to use Rogaine, but it causes very dry white patches. Yes, because Rogaine is minoxidil, and while it will help you grow the hair once you stop taking it or using it, that's it. Um, it kind of sounds like you might have. It depends on what got you to that point. And I know you're saying it's not split or damage, but it has to be split or damaged if it's short. If that hair is short all the way around your hairline, then something happened. It didn't just happen that way. Something else is there. You're on point. Thank you, bromine or bromine. Thank you, flowers in the snow. I could not think of it, and that's what is bromine or bromam. Ugh. Thank you guys. You know exactly what I'm trying to say. I just can't remember the name. But I do know it comes from pineapples. When I had plastic surgery years ago, I had smart lipo, and that is what I used to help with the swelling to go down. So there you go. All right, guys. Well, I hope this video was of some goodness to those of you out there. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. Don't forget, the summer sister sale is going on. Everything is 30% off on my site. Use code SUMMER. You had a gastric bypass, hysterectomy, and you're iron deficient. Wow. So you definitely need to be juicing, babe. I know you guys are looking at me crazy, like juicing. You'll be so amazed the difference your body will feel, the difference your digestive. It's a lot of the stuff is induced by what we're putting in. You eat McDonald's all day, every damn day, ass nasty grill that the girl is serving you the food from. That's how you're gonna feel. So continue. Don't listen to me. Just continue. Somebody needed to hear this, and I know I'm stepping on a whole bunch of corns and bunions right now. Oh, well. I just started using Jamaican black castor oil and castor oil for dryness. Hey, that's good, April. That's good. I'm going to give it a try. Definitely. Definitely. But like I said, guys, start taking better care of yourself. That is the #1 fix. I don't give a damn what miracle product is out there. I don't give a damn what doctors are giving you. I don't give a damn what anyone is giving you. If you are not taking good care of yourself in the first place, you are in a bad place, period. Right? You are in a bad place, period. Take better care of yourself. The best thing I could have did was taking a break and came out here, because I work so much that all I can think about is work. I was here thinking about work, and I said, you know what? I have so many things that I need to do, but I'm not going to do anything else. I am going to enjoy the moment. I'm going to do what's in the moment right now, and when I get back home, I do everything else, because stress will hurt you. Can you see the reds in my eyes? That's natural red. You see, around this time of night, my eyes naturally become this way. That should tell you that I am tired. Naturally, I am tired. So I need to relax. I need to sleep. I need to enjoy life. God is blessing me with my business growing, and He's blessing me with this business growing so that eventually I can step from behind my chair and I can enjoy my life. I can enjoy my life by just literally doing what He told me to do and using my purpose of what I feel like He put me on this earth to do, to just help as many people as I possibly can, whether it be a product or not. Use the brain I gave you, Crystal, and teach somebody else, because they're going to go teach somebody else, and then they're going to teach somebody else, and that person is going to teach 30 for other people, and then those 30 people are going to teach another 200 people because I said something. How long before your strengthen and repair shampoo and conditioner is available? It's available now, Tracy. It's available now. We've already started shipping out the pre-sale stuff, so we're not backed up, but we have to do it one day at a time. You guys keep in mind, I am a small business. It's myself, my shipping assistant, and then I have an assistant now that answers a lot of my emails. That's it. And I'm still a hairstylist in the salon Wednesday through Saturday. I still have 3 children that I deal with. So you guys bear with us. I'm doing the absolute best that I can, and I took this weekend off. I'm so sorry. I'm not touching anything else this weekend. I need to order stuff, and I'm not even ordering nothing. It's gonna wait till Monday. Take care of yourself. Yes, lady. You're right. Many things we do and eat cause the inflammation, which is what affects our whole body and our system. Absolutely. I'm guilty of it. Can't speak too bad for it, because guess what? I'm about to get up right now and go to somebody's with my family. But guess what? I know that I'm not going to go sit and take in all that starch. I'm not going to go take in all of those sugars. I'm going to eat some veggies, eat some salad, eat some protein, remind here, relax and watch some TV with a full belly. And I know that's not going to last me all night, but it's better than me going and eating a bunch of noodles and starch and all this stuff. Just know what you're eating. Know what you're eating. All right, my loves. That's it for the night. I gave you guys 37 minutes. And my mom keeps opening the door like, can you hurry the fuck up? I'm surprised she hasn't come in here and started talking trash yet. So they gave me my time to do my job. They gave me my time to do what I love, because I actually love doing this. This is me. This is what I like to do. I can stand in a room of 300 people and do this. So that's easy. But for those of you who are in the Orlando area, or maybe you're willing to travel to the Orlando area, I will be having my Boss Babe and Beauty networking brunch. This is my first brunch ever on October the 12th. It is my event. Basically, I'll be doing hair tutorials, live one-on-one consultations for free. It is a catered brunch. I'll also have makeup artists doing a live natural makeup beat, talking about foundations, vendors, all of that good stuff. It is October the 12th. Tickets can be purchased if you go to my Instagram and click the link in my bio. You'll be able to get tickets. The tickets are $45, all inclusive, unlimited mimosas. I just went all out. It's not even about the money. $45 really just pays for a table and a chair for me. But everything else I'm giving out. I'm giving out a lot. So you guys, if you're definitely able to come, please get your tickets. That's the only way I can keep everything going. But outside of that, guys, enjoy your weekend. I love each and every one of you, and just take care of yourself. That's all I can say. Take care of yourself. Period. Period, with a T and DT at the end, right? Anyhow, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, my name is Crystal. I am the owner of Elite Hair Care USA. If you're not already following me on Instagram, go ahead, go to my Instagram page. My Instagram name and YouTube name, it matches. Elite Hair Care USA, right? All right, guys, if you are one of those where maybe you have some suggestions for others, you're definitely welcome to comment down below. I only block negative people. So keep your stuff positive and you won't get blocked, period. All right, guys. Good night. Good night. Good night. Mwah. Have a good weekend. Thanks, Glaze.